What's going on, guys? It's Noah, Pioneer Sport Cards. Currently recording in the car, but I had to get the content out for you guys. Joined by special guest Luke, or on Twitter known as penguinsfan32. If you want to say hello.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So yeah, Luke is one of the. I'm honored. He's one of the few people I've actually met in real life. So I have a special connection, and I got to hold his expensive F1 cards. So thanks for stopping by and joining me tonight. I know it's late for you.
Yeah, for sure. It was awesome getting to meet at the National. Worked out pretty nice.
Yeah, I was. The national was awesome. So, if you don't mind, if you want to kind of just say, kind of introduce yourself, how you got started with just cards, and then maybe transition to how you got into F1 cards.
Yeah, so I'm Luke. I'm currently a freshman at Clemson, but I got into sports cards just pretty much when the market started to blow up. I collected them as a kid. My grandfather was actually the or vice president at Tops before he unfortunately passed away in 2008. So I really had a bond with Tops and sports cards when I was a kid. So bringing that back was awesome. As soon as I realized how big the hobby was, and I instantly fell in love and involved in the hobby pretty much for it's almost 2 years now. But I got into F1 cards through a bit of my friend, Dolphin Fan 100 on Twitter. I he was telling me about Formula One cards a lot, and I wasn't a big Formula One fan actually. So I like most people, I watched Drive to Survive, and I absolutely fell in love with the sport. And right after that, actually, I bought a case of Dynasty. That was a way to jump in.
What a way!
Honestly, yeah.
I was gonna say, just what a way just to start out with just Tops, just to go. You know what? I'm gonna go full case of Dynasty. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't. It's not nearly as much as it was now, but it's still funny. That was your first buy.
Bro, yeah, I got a great deal on a case. I mean, it was 1,100 a box.
Yeah.
Which even at that time was actually a good price. I think it was around 1,500-1,600 a box.
Okay.
So yeah, I actually opened a box of Dynasty before I even liked Formula One. I just wanted to be a bit of a degen. But the first box I opened was a Con.
Okay.
Which I was like, okay, I didn't know that much about him, but I mean, it wasn't bad. Every box I've opened 6. They were all drivers, so I really like the product. So.
Yeah. If I got Ocon as my first Dynasty, like he's probably like the perfectly middle of the range. You can't be too excited, but you can certainly do a lot worse. So
right, exactly.
So yeah, for people watching, I talked to Luke and we thought it'd be fun to do a Verstappen kind of just overall themed talk today. He's the driver in the lead of the championship. I don't know. I haven't actually talked about him a whole lot, to be honest. So I'm happy to be joined by the super fan, the Verstappen super fan that Luke is. So do you have anything that you wanted to kind of talk about to kickstart it? I have some stuff if you want, but wanted to give you the floor first.
Yeah. So I guess we could kickstart it by I'm curious about, you're kind of bearish on Max versus I'm kind of bullish. So I'm curious your just overall thoughts on his prices in this market currently.
Gotcha. So I guess this will be actually perfect. You'll get two sides of the story. I think for me, in the 6 month span, I'm bullish on Verstappen, but on the longer year to 2 year, I'm bearish. If that makes any sense. If you're talking like, you say that again.
I said I almost agree with that, but I want you to go into detail a bit more.
Yeah. So I think me being bullish in the next 3 to 6 months is not like nothing for me to really write home about. He's leading the championship. If he ends up getting the championship, just wins more races, all that stuff. F1 Verstappen right now, currently when I checked, he still has a little bit like that ratio that Verstappen to Lewis has currently Verstappen can catch up, go up a little bit more. So
Right.
I think in my latest like market cap, I predicted Verstappen next month to go up another, like his Sapphire to go up another $30-$40 raw. In the short term, I'm not too worried. Where I am bearish long term, and this is actually probably applies to most cards, is that you just don't, with the new reg changes. I'm just scared. I would be scared to be holding Verstappen, and that applies to most people. Just but for the price of, and I think it has to do with,
Right.
if I'm gonna like Verstappen, this is the second most expensive card in the set. If I'm gonna pay, I don't. If I'm gonna pay $300 for a base Sapphire, would I rather do that, or would I rather go for other drivers that I like more? So it's not the fact that I'm quite bearish on Verstappen specifically as a driver, but I'm kind of bearish on the price he
Yeah.
has in relation to other drivers for next season, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I would almost say that Leclerc was a good deal, but now his stuff is going up.
It's funny
He was
because
a good deal, like yeah.
yeah. So I was gonna say it's funny because even a few days ago I said Leclerc, his base Sapphire and his base Chrome, I think they're still good buys and you can find deals on them. But
For sure.
his colored stuff is definitely starting to move. Like I'll pull, so for people back watching live, I'll try to, hopefully I remember to put a picture up. I'm bad with remembering this stuff, but there were some of us talking today, and they showed some colors, and they so some of the purple Leclercs are at 300. There's an orange 70th at 730, and like that's like insane, and like, but it's still funny that I think that has more room to grow because of just how undervalued he is. Whereas Max, I feel, is properly valued in the market. So it's not even quite that I'm necessarily that bearish. I'm just worried that you'll be able to get the gains from him compared to somebody else.
Yeah, I had my orange to 25 Leclerc portrait at the National available for like $400, and nobody took it. Thankfully, I
If
sent it to SGC just to get it slabbed for cheap. You know what I mean? Just if I sell in the future, just to have it slabbed, so no issues. But I think I'll be holding on that at for a little bit.
that's funny
So
because
you know what I mean?
if I knew that when I met you, I probably would have bought that. But I was waiting in line to get the national packs. I was caught off guard. He rattled me by handing me his, at the time, like the $10,000 Verstappen variation Sapphire. Threw me off guard. Couldn't quite compose myself. But yeah, I think I kind of want to hear where you're at with Verstappen. Why you're slightly more bullish than I am on Verstappen.
Yeah. So I mean, when we think about if he wins the championship, I know this is hypothetical,
Yeah,
but I feel like he could be the face of Formula One going forward. Like a new era almost. I mean, we've had Lewis for, I mean, domination for so long. I feel like him winning the championship, besting Lewis, and actually, staying, I guess, in Formula One because Rosberg won in 2016. But
yeah.
I feel like he could be the face of Formula One going in the future, and um, like a big figure. I mean, he's a big figure now, but you know what I mean.
I do like that point. That's a very fair point. I kind of, since I feel like I know baseball best, it honestly feels like a baseball situation with Trout with Trout being Lewis Hamilton, kind of being that person who's just solid, steady, always gonna have that value. And then you have Verstappen coming
Yeah,
in as that Juan Soto, that just that up and
yeah,
coming
yeah. That's a good
big
comparison.
guy who has the bat. Verstappen can drive. And it's funny because even right now in baseball, you could argue that Soto might technically be the better player right now, even though prices don't suggest
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So it's funny
yeah. That's
how
a great
up
point.
and coming guys are just, and that's where I can agree with you that I think if Verstappen wins this championship, especially, he becomes, I feel like unarguably he'll become the face of F1 because Lewis, they're gonna have to transition because Lewis doesn't retire soon. It's just what's gonna
Right,
happen.
exactly.
So I think, yeah, I agree with that. I agree on that point. It's yeah, I think very fair points. So I wanted to ask you, do you have any predictions for like what you think Verstappen's gonna be at in the near or long term for price wise? I mean,
His Chrome autos. I could see his Chrome auto doing $10,000 pretty soon.
what's that doing right now?
One
If you know,
one sold low. I don't know what the seller was really thinking. The weekend of the USGP, I was busy. Obviously, I was there. That Sunday, he won, and the seller lowered their price on a gold auto of his to 50. It was at 9,000. It was on my watch list, and he dropped it to 6,500. I think it sold instantly.
yeah,
There's a gold auto right now at auction. It ends in I think 3 days or so, and it's already at like $4,500. It's just PSA authentic with a 10 auto.
gotcha.
It's at 4,200. So I mean, and it seems like no one is selling them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's the blessing and curse of F1 because everything will probably continue. The shorter print stuff continue to go up, but your problem is trying to good luck trying to find that stuff.
Right.
Like you just can't like right now. I guess for people watching, I wanted to save this for myself, but I'll share it. I think there is honestly with Leclerc going up, there's a new best buy in F1. There's a driver right now that's too undervalued, and
Let's hear it.
do you have any guesses of who I'm gonna say before I say it? I think just for where they're at in comparison is just like not even like such a good buy, and I'm curious if you think you know who it is.
It's somebody young, right?
It is not.
Oh, okay. Oh man. Ooh. Oh, Science?
It is not. Give me Daniel Ricciardo right now as the best buy in F1 right now.
Okay, I can respect that.
And I'll tell you why. The reason he's the best buy currently is that so I've talked about this a lot. Beginning of the year, we have Daniel Ricciardo is I think this is unarguable, rated as a top 5 driver in F1. Signing to McLaren. Goes into the season very slow, not quite what you're wanting or expecting from Ricciardo. As a result, with all the people coming into the market, his price stays low. Currently, over the past,
his dynasty was cheap for a while.
Yeah, and since
his
summer,
dynasty was pretty cheap for a while.
Yeah, and since summer break, it's I don't know how much you want to argue, but I think it's fair to say that Ricciardo has caught Norris for being able to get output out of the car. He's been able to, besides I think what is it, Russia, with Norris and contention. Every other race has seen Ricciardo out finish him in a higher spot or out qualify him. Much more competitive.
Well, he left it with the best at Coda. For real, that was a great performance.
Exactly. That's why I was thinking about the reason I thought of this was the Coda performance where he finished 5th compared to I don't know what Lando finished 10th maybe.
7th.
Yeah, he finished lower. I knew he finished lower than him for sure. And then
Lando didn't do much at all during that race.
And then the reason I also looked was today I was watching Mexico qualifying, and like Norris just couldn't match Ricciardo in the qualifying today in Mexico. So I was looking at this and I was like, I went to go check prices and I'm like, you're telling me a Lando Norris refractor is, I didn't check that price, but I would assume probably closing on $400 maybe. That's probably an estimate, but or I can buy 8 Daniel Ricciardo refractors for that $400 because they're at 50 apiece. Like, the guy's won, how many races has Ricciardo won? 19, 20 races in his career? It's insane.
Yeah. And I want to add also to your point, I like it. His likability in Drive to Survive and how much he's in that, you know what I mean?
That's also, like, when somebody says, who do you think has the best personality in F1? If somebody asked me, it'd be Ricciardo 100%. Like, it's just the energy he exudes, the way he's so, like, likable, like, relatable, and just overall funny. You don't quite see that on the grid.
He has 8 race wins, but, I mean, that doesn't really matter. Like I said, he has an awesome personality.
8? Wow, I thought he had one more than that. Still, even with that point, if McLaren hits regs next year, I wouldn't be surprised if Ricardo evenly is matched with Verstappen. I mean, not Verstappen, with Norris. Wow.
Right. Yeah.
But like at that point, if they're gonna drive evenly, it should be that's how it should go. And honestly, it's funny that you said Sainz because I think Sainz undervalued as well. If you that Sainz might be
Yeah, I've been saying that.
Sainz might be the sneakiest play you can make right now in the market.
I agree.
Because
especially with Ferrari, they seem to be really investing in next year, and plus that new power unit that they just dropped for this season.
That's exactly. That's why I'm saying for all the reasons why I like Leclerc, I like Sainz as a person you could buy for like 50% of even Leclerc. So if you want somebody, you can maybe throw like $50 down and get like a nice take a flyer on a decent like on a driver. That's probably the guy to do it with.
100%. I agree with that.
Okay, so I'm gonna get us back on the right track on Verstappen because we said we're gonna talk about Verstappen a lot. Right. And I was telling Luke before this the way it works. We always get off track, start talking about stuff, but after all the Verstappen stuff, we'll just dive into that. So the one I wanted to talk about, and you mentioned it as well, is talking about some of these dynasty sales. How the dynasty market a lot better than I do. It's too high end for me. Being as we're both college kids, it's too high end for me. So I'm curious to hear where you're kind of at with this. What you're thinking with it.
Yeah, so I mean, I just want to talk about tonight's sales at auction because a lot of them were similar, close range. So tonight there was a Max Dynasty BGS 9 with 10 auto triple patch.
Where did that sell? Was that on eBay?
Yeah, it was on eBay. I'm not a big triple patch fan, honestly.
Okay.
But it's numbered to 5 and the auto looks great. It did 9,600.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
It's the first one, but for some reason I saw the label and just like, because the label is silver and it blended into the silver background.
Right. Yeah.
So it's right in front of me. Continue though.
Yeah, and then we also had Sapphire numbered to 10.
Oh.
Portrait.
Okay.
BGS 7.5.
What did that do?
That did 9,400.
Okay.
So on my Twitter, I dropped the hypothetical question: which one would you prefer? So I'll ask you that question.
I don't think you're gonna. I think you already know what I'm gonna say. But I will only take the Chrome because I don't know Dynasty nearly as well.
What I like about Dynasty is the autograph. I feel like, I mean, you have the card, the patch, and the on-card auto.
Yeah.
It's just elegant. I get it's high end, but like, I mean, Formula One. I guess if you're in the Formula One, like, I mean, it's a higher end sport. Let's just put it that way. You know what I mean, so if you're a collector, you're gonna have the means, I'd say, to drop the money, and that is a card. You know what I mean?
I think I should also. Here, let me. Yeah. I'm gonna preface this by also saying that if you give me the option of like a single patch, like I don't know, but I think it's called a single patch, like on the right side, I would take that. I just do not like the triple relic. I don't like the look of them. Personally.
Right. So yeah, in Dynasty they have the triple patch.
Yeah.
For, the double patch, which is only for drivers.
Yeah.
And then the single patch as well. The Dynasty I have right now is the double patch.
Gotcha.
And what I really like about the double patch is that the photo is great, which the photo isn't that great on the triple patch in my opinion. You know, it's tiny, but the auto still pops.
Yeah.
Which you don't get with the full single patch because the picture is so
big.
That's
a good point. I think the reason I struggle with triple or smaller relic stuff is that especially for Dynasty, if I'm gonna go for a big high end card, I want something that's gonna give me for a Dynasty. I know I'm getting a relic and the auto. I want a relic that's just gonna pop out to me, scream to me look at me, which is like when we're looking at the one that just ended. I'm gonna click on it a little more just so I can zoom in. But
sure.
So I don't know if you have if you can look at it. right now, but I can
Yeah, I'm
describe.
looking at it.
Oh, you're looking at it, perfect. So, like, one of the things I have a problem with is like this middle spot just being
Yeah.
like not used really. Like, sure, it's being
Yeah,
used, but
it's
like,
like that for like all the triple patch.
and that's what I like struggle with these. Like,
Yeah, I
if
agree.
you're gonna go for the triple, you better give me 3 relics that I really like.
Absolutely.
So I think for that reason, like it's just such a buzzkill of like if they did 3 kind of like different Red Bull patches with the red and yellow and the blue, and maybe
Yeah.
snuck like the Honda in, it would look nice. But just this plain white like relic, the napkin relic, just really
Yeah.
turns me off because like my dream, like it's funny that I say that I don't want to do Dynasty, but the best Formula One card I've ever seen was Leclerc's double patch with the Ferrari logo.
Oh yeah. Oh my
Like
god, that was just pulled last year.
yeah, I've never seen a card that looks that good, and it's
Yeah,
because
I mean,
yeah, and you can't do that in the triple.
yeah, I agree. And you were just talking about like a card for Dynasty that pops. That is the card that pops.
Yeah,
I mean, there's the Verstappen version which has the Red Bull logo, but I mean the Ferrari logo is incredibly iconic. So I mean that is the card for Leclerc.
I mean like even like the ones with the Pirelli, like even like those for Verstappen, like I think those pop out because you're getting 3 colors.
Right.
If I'm not like yeah, I want 3 colors out of my patch, unless it's like the Red Bull with like the yellow with the Red Bull. That's perfectly fine. But if I'm gonna get something, I want 3 good colors that match the team that he's with. That say, "Wow, look at me."
Yeah.
And I don't quite get that out of the triples,
Yeah, I agree.
which is why, like, if
The
I were to
Science,
go ahead,
yeah, sorry, I have a Science triple and it's so basic.
yeah, it's just like the basic stuff. Like, it's nice, but like, oh, I just can't. If I'm gonna justify spending $9,600 for a Verstappen Dynasty, just give me the double or the single.
And what's funny is the Gunther Steiner triple patches. They are almost all of them are 3 napkin black patches. If you look at most of them, it's pretty crazy because I think they cut up his polo, but I mean the Haas logo isn't that big on the polo. If you
No,
know what I mean?
yeah,
It's pretty crazy. Yeah, the triple patches are rough.
that's yeah. The triples are decent. I mean, they're fine for what they are, but like I think this
Right.
might speak to it. I would rather have a double auto card. I'd rather have the Verstappen Albon card over the triple Verstappen. I think
Whoa.
and that's
Bold claim.
and that's a personal preference. I think for
Right. Right. Right.
value wise, you go the Verstappen, but like I just saw one because I just looked up Verstappen Dynasty sales, and there's a duel that with Albon and Verstappen.
It
That
does half of it. Yeah.
yeah, did half of it, and like those patches, like the R for Red Bull, and like kind of like the bull with the yellow, like that's what I want if I'm gonna go for a big car. Like and like plus it's not even that bad anymore because Albon's back in F1,
Right.
so this card's passable now. But like man, yeah, I think that's a bold statement that I'd prefer that.
For sure.
So yeah, do you have anything else for dynasty stuff, like overall dynasty stuff? What you've been seeing? I don't follow this as well, like with Hamilton or other drivers. Anything else that's been kind of just interesting to see,
Um,
or
what's been interesting to see is I mean we've seen Leclerc's rise.
yeah,
I feel like that's I guess that's deserved. But I mean dynasty boxes are $3,000 right now
yeah,
ish, and it doesn't add up obviously.
yeah? That's the story of F1 just singles. The boxes are too high for what you can just buy with for singles.
Yeah, I mean I just saw a break on IG. They did a one box dynasty break, and I mean they got Andreas Seidel.
Yeah, my big thing like with it is like So for Topps Chrome, I'm just gonna round up. They're doing 2,000 a box.
Right. Yeah.
So you're telling me if I could choose between two boxes, or I could go crazy with 4,000 worth of singles on eBay.
Yeah.
It's a no brainer for me. I like imagine how many like sick singles I could pick up. Like hell, you could like I've seen on eBay like or recently somebody said like what the Alcon Super Refractor Auto sold for 5,000 or something like that.
Yeah. The Stroll did 3,000.
Yeah, like so for the price for the price of a box and a half, I can get the
Exactly.
Stroll Superfractor Auto. I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't care how well he does. I'm getting a Superfractor of one of the 20 drivers in the biggest F1 set ever made.
Right. I was tempted. I offered the guy $2,000, but I mean, you know what I mean. I'm
Yeah.
not a huge Stroll fan, like I said, but I mean,
But
for
if
a
you could,
box and a half.
yeah, if you could get it for like yeah, especially like if you got it for $2,000, like yeah, who cares? That's like such a crazy buy.
Right.
And that's why like I keep it's funny on eBay. You probably know what I'm talking about. There's the Latifi Superfractor Auto that just sits up there. The guy has it listed for 59.99, and I'm like, wow, if somebody came in and offered this guy like $2,000, because it's been sitting for months. If somebody said,
That's
"Hey, I'll give
crazy.
you $2,000 cash right now,"
I see it now.
there's a pretty good shot he takes it.
Now you got me tempted.
No, I don't know why. I honestly I am definitely. Oh, I hate saying this because it sounds so stupid, but I'm kind of bullish on Latifi to be quite honest.
Go on.
Um, that's why I said I don't think bullish is the right word to use, but I
Right.
honestly think Russell is just out driving the legs off of that car, and that Latifi is giving the expected place of what that car normally should do for an
Yeah.
average driver.
Yeah.
So if Williams hits regs next year, and Latifi ends up becoming just like a guy, who knows, he'll sneak in like a sixth place every once in a while. They nail
Yeah.
regs,
Yeah.
something like that. Like for how cheap he is right now, I'm not saying he's going to be the next. He's definitely not the next big driver. But there could be some
Right.
sneaky good value. Find some like low numbered, just like low numbered portrait cards of Latifi for cheap. Can maybe hit something
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Actually, I like that. I mean, yeah, exactly. These regs could change things big time. Like, I mean, I see a numbered to 10 Sapphire Latifi, the
I
one with
was
his helmet on.
oh I have there was
It's
one yeah that's
$200 the best offer. Like
yeah
what?
there is one. Did it end? There is one that was at auction. I think it just ended. Yeah,
Yeah, one sold for $40. The same card in the beginning of October.
listen to this. This will hurt you. A Nicholas Latifi Formula One purple sapphire out of 10. His base portrait sold a few hours ago for $145.
That's crazy.
The value you could hit out of this Latifi, if I had, like, I'm selling this right now for people watching. I can't buy because I owe basically everybody in the Discord money basically right now for holding me cards. But if I had money, I would have offered up to 200 for this card. This Latifi purple out of 10. Like the purples, you can't go wrong with something being numbered that low for a base driver.
I just saw the Pat Perdasha was this week. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not see that.
By Mamba Cards.
Mama pulls everything, I guess.
Yeah. So if that hits eBay,
Ooh.
you'll catch me bidding.
Yeah. If I had money, I would be bidding. I think because here's the thing, people are gonna sleep on Latifi. There's a realistic shot you could get that for under $2,000. I think you could easily get it under $2,000. Probably even under 1,000 if we're gonna be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you buy the one of one Latifi for under 1,000, and Williams hits regs like good enough, and he's in the points consistently, you're at least doubling or tripling 100%.
Right, and I agree that he's not a bad driver. Like I said, that's a great point. Like, we know George drives the wheels off the Williams, it's just that Latifi's doing his job. He's just, you know what I mean? He's in the background there.
And I don't, yeah, like, I don't want to be known as like just a Latifi fanboy because it'd be a funny nickname that I'm gonna get in the Discord now. But like, dude, it's unreal. Like I've watched some of this.
Value is value.
I've watched some of the stuff on YouTube with him in it. He's funny. He's likable. Like he's smart. Yeah, he's really well rounded. Like, granted, like he's not a Russell caliber driver, but like how many people are? If you like, I think if you put him, I'm trying to think of a driver that'd be a fair. For sure, if you put him and Sonoda in the same car, they give you same performance.
Yo, yeah, I like that.
So
and honestly, I actually had the opportunity over the summer for the first week of the Austrian Grand Prix. I got to go on like the Zoom, talk to the drivers as they were walking to the track, and Latifi stopped, and I got to talk to him, and he just seemed like such a nice guy.
That's, yeah. Maybe you know what? Maybe I just say I'll get the black loose later. I just go heavy on Latifi as just my play because like, I mean that's the true gambler. But like, yeah, he's such like a nice guy. Like they don't show him on Drive to Survive. I think if they did, he would actually be a fan favorite. To be honest.
I saw actually he posted a tweet that he will be in the season, so that's exciting.
Oh, that's awesome to hear because like I said, I watched Williams does these videos where they like do stuff with him and Russell doing challenges, just talking about the weekend and stuff. And the dude's funny. I found out from watching like 2 videos, he loves Nutella.
Yes.
He's really good at basketball. I watched the Austin shooting around. He actually knows how to dribble a basketball compared to everybody else. Yeah, he's just a fun, like, he's really laid back. I think he's not quite the Ricardo laid back, but he's definitely more laid back than 90% of the grid, which is funny.
I love how this went from Max talk to Latifi talk real quick.
Dude, what did I say? It's just gonna keep happening like that. It's gonna happen. So yeah, I mean, I'll jump to Verstappen one more time.
Yeah.
For my last thing, I kind of just pulled up his stats over his career. That was I thought it'd be fun if you just gave me what you think his stats will be when he retires. I thought this would be a funny. You can hear you say he'll hit 100 wins, and you can say you called it, or he retires next year and you look dumb. But
right.
I don't know. I think
I
go for it.
Yeah, I mean he's been in Formula One for I guess you could say so long, but he's so young. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like all this experience will only contribute to his success in the future.
Yeah.
Regardless if he wins the championship this year or not.
True.
The fact that he's only 24, I believe, and he's in such a tough battle for the championship, I feel like it's iron sharpening iron right now between him and Lewis.
Yeah, it is. I think I think when Lewis retires, I think the 2 best drivers on the grid will be between him, Verstappen, and Russell. I think maybe throw Charles in there for like just straight wheelman, but I think between those 3 they'll be, when Lewis retires, the best of the best. Unless a new rookie comes in that just blows the socks off everybody, but that like you said, like he's gonna be the best like wheelman driver without a doubt.
Yeah, we know the hobby likes its prospects.
It does.
Like Kimi is disrespected, obviously.
Yeah,
and Seb.
And Seb. I was gonna say, and Vettel is just, it's unreal. Seb, yeah. Before I jump into Seb, because I could talk about why he's just so disrespected in the hobby. Just like, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Verstappen. I think honestly it'll depend on next year. It really will, with how Red Bull hits.
Yeah.
Because when Red Bull's dominant, like we saw, they can win almost every race. So it says he currently has 18 wins. If Red Bull hits for the next 3 or 4 years, I wouldn't be surprised in the next 5 years he hits 50 wins if they nail regulations. Right. He just dominates.
and I kind of want to touch on a little bit the rookie card logo in like Chrome. I mean, there's
Oh,
no rookie card
yeah,
logos on Dynasty, but
yeah,
I'm curious if how the market will react to rookie card logos versus not. We know this is first year.
yep.
Do you think first year will be first year? Yeah, I'd want first year versus this Max Verstappen second year Gold Wave Chrome Auto. I like just as much as the first year.
Yeah, I think this is an answer that we actually will get an answer to soon. I think right now I can't answer it. I think it'll come
Right.
down to the product that comes out this year with Mick and Yuki, and I guess to an extent Nikita Mazepin as well. Like how those sales hold up to the base. I think that if I'm gonna invest long term on any of those guys, I don't know why you would on anybody besides Mick. Even that's
Right.
kind of weird that you'd go long term on Mick, but like I would want this first year because of how short the print run is. I,
Yes, I was just gonna touch on that. Do we think they're gonna print the hell out of next year? I bet you. I mean, why not? There's demand, right?
I think yeah, I wouldn't say it's gonna get. I think it's gonna be definitely way higher than it is now. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
because we know they're coming out with the light boxes.
yeah, and that's what when Top starts doing light boxes, that's when the print run scares me on stuff.
Right.
That they've printed so many cards that they decided do we want to make this many hobbies or do we want to try to pretend like we're making other hobbies? Plus, it's probably going to retail.
Yeah, I was just gonna say because we know the paper is going to retail.
So if Chrome goes to retail too, it's going to be everywhere. So that's where, like, I'm bearish on 2021. Besides
Hmm.
the F2s are funny how people hate F2s in this product.
Right.
But next year that'll be the best cards to buy. Like if I could buy a Piastri, like a nice colored
Oh yeah.
Piastri, like I'm doing that over buying a nice, maybe to the except of autos because autos are so hard to buy. So maybe if you
Right.
want to
Right.
go
Right.
get a nice Lewis, a nice Max, a nice Lando for kind of way cheaper, that makes perfect sense to me. But if I'm gonna like, why would I go buy like a nice expensive Hamilton color from this year? Like if I could buy this, these are just random numbers. If I could buy a gold Hamilton from 2021, or I could buy like not even maybe like an aqua or like even like a purple, like two purples out of 399 Lewis's
Yeah.
from this year. I might take the ones from the first product,
Right.
even though like the number is numbered way higher just because of how small the print run is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And it's funny how like I would say that, but I think that's just how it would be because of how good the first product was.
Yeah, I agree. I think you could probably say that for all the drivers right now. I mean, that aren't rookies, obviously.
Yeah, it's I'm excited for next year. I keep hating on it, but I know I'll end up buying some because I'm a sucker for it for F1
Right. Yeah.
products.
Facts.
I'll probably
Yeah. So
buy.
it's probably like a lot of Max. You know what I mean. I'm thinking about that, but I really do feel like, and I obviously hope that the first year Sapphire and Chrome and Dynasty all hold. You know, the
Yeah,
fact that it's the first year.
yeah. This is yeah. The reason why I'm kind of worried for the new product is that besides the F2 guys, there's no like inherent reason for me to buy anybody else. I feel like
Hmm.
I think it's because it's a second year. Once F1
Yeah,
gets
you're
built,
right.
once F1 gets built up, it's not as big of a problem anymore. But being
Yeah,
second
but
year, like in the short term, why would I want to buy the new hobby box when I could just go buy a nice color for the first set?
yeah, right. I mean, it's just like Mick. Yeah, just Mick, pretty much. You're looking for
And
what's new.
it's funny because like in my head, yeah, this physically cannot happen anymore. I've been I've never told anybody this, but I was looking like long term future like plays on F1. I said this in another with somebody else on a talk. I said, give 5 years, Pato Award will be in F1. I said that. And
Oh,
So I was like, so recently I was like, okay, what stuff does Pato Award have?
Yeah.
He has no cards. So I was like, okay, what's my next option? I'll go buy his first year Indy Lights Hero autographed team card.
Whoa, that's cool.
And I was like, how much is this gonna run me? Ran me $15.
Oh,
And I'm like, I get Paddle Award's first year at IndyCar autographed team card from Indy Lights for $15. And then
yeah, I really hope. Sorry,
so then
IndyCar cards come out.
yeah, so then I'll continue quickly. Along that same lines, the Mario and Journey Alfa Romeo talks were deep. And I bought the rumor so hard. I was convinced Colton Herta would be an F1. So I went and bought a Colton Herta one as well. I
I hope
still
that didn't run you.
that was $20. So I mean,
Oh,
I'm not in him.
oh,
I'm not in
yeah,
him for like anything. So like
he's a great IndyCar driver too. I love
that's
IndyCar.
why I'm not worried about either of them. They're both great in Indy. But
Right.
like just for the fact that if Herta did go to F1, like how much that like a team card could have been that was signed by him. Just for the hype that F1 brings you alone when you don't have a card yet and people are just itching to buy something.
Bro, Joe autos are going like bonkers.
Which autos?
For him. Guang Yu Zhou.
Oh yeah, yeah. Thank God you actually pronounced it right. Oh, that's my biggest pet peeve on breaks.
Oh my
Pronunciation.
god, yeah. I got that.
I don't want to turn it into a rant. I could easily turn these into rants on why I hate certain people, certain breakers in the hobby. It'd be so easy for me to do that, but it's just my biggest problem with it is like, sure, I don't like if somebody gets extremely hyped and starts yelling over a card. That's a personal thing. That's a personal preference. You mispronouncing the name of the drivers is not a personal preference. It's you just not being good at your job of a breaker and knowing stuff. And that's what just drives me nuts. Oh, I can't go on my rants.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, so that's why I heard Joe and that made me smile. Especially because I took in an Asian studies class, so I heard it so much. Like just those names that it ingrained into me.
Yeah.
But so yeah, since we got Max kind of out of the way, I want to hear from you, just kind of bounce ideas off for you, and that other people can listen. Do you have any people that you're like, or anything that you're kind of looking for right now, looking to buy, plays you want to make in the future, or are you just kind of just taking it one step at a time, whatever pops up?
Yeah. That's a good question. I mean, I'm kind of trying to take it one step at a time, I guess. I mean, there are some good plays, like I said. It's just that F1 is expensive right now. Like I said, we only have 3 products, really.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's some value to be had in some of the older drivers, like Sainz, who's still very good, and, legends like Kimi and Seb.
Yeah, that's a.
So I feel like, yeah, I mean, we did see on the Seb realm, his number to 10 Sapphire did 3 bands tonight, 3 grand.
Oh, that did 3 bands tonight.
Yeah, that was surprising when I saw that.
That's a good sale for Vettel, considering if you asked me how much I thought that went for, I probably would have said it would have gone for half of that.
I was in one sold in the Discord a few months ago for like $750.
Yeah, like Seb, like
right,
so
I do think
undervalued.
he's getting a little bit more respect now that prices are going up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think also I'm gonna touch on this, and I'm gonna relate it to something else that's and you'll kind of when I say this, you'll kind of understand where I'm going with it. But so I did a video a few months ago on the number one card that I think you should buy at that time, and it was Sebastian Vettel's Sports Illustrated for Kid, his first ever sports card, and you could
That's cool.
buy them for like $3 to $4 a card. And I was like, Vettel has won 50 races. Like, it's a no-brainer to buy this card for this cheap. And I went and checked recently to see how much those were. I think they doubled. They were at like $10.
Yeah, and that's still, yeah, I might actually have to go grab a couple of those.
I have so many sheets I'll sell you for a discount. But anyways, what I'm saying is like it's crazy how the hobby now values the chrome and all of this stuff, the new shiny product, because and this is where I was going with it. I don't talk about it, but and this is actually kind of hypocritical of me to say this. I'm a big UFC fan. I'm currently missing the UFC title fight right now to record this, but I was
Yeah,
looking
me
to
too.
I was looking to get in. I've been looking to get in some UFC for a while. You know, I love watching UFC. Just some like not big end, but maybe some like refractors, some silvers or stuff. And it's for me like I think this is because I came from baseball. I'm a traditional collector, an old head. That like Tops had come out with UFC for years, but people are spending more on the new Panini Prism product for like the same thing when he's had a rookie card for 8 years ago.
Right.
And it's just like I can't wrap my head around why people are paying these crazy prices when like, and this is why I'm saying with Vettel, you could go buy that Sports Illustrated for kids for $5-6 maybe at offers, but you're gonna go and buy his base chrome for like $25 or however much, I don't know what it goes for, but like 10-15
Right.
bucks. It's crazy to me, and that's why so people know watching I get pretty I can go on rants, especially on the Discord when when I don't like prices. There was one night, I don't know if you were on one night, but dude, I was ranting that the prices got too high. I was pissed. I'm never gonna get my Hamilton. I was in my feelings that night, I guess. This huge rant in the middle of the general Discord about why prices were too high and how much I hate it. I don't know why I was doing that, but like, dude, I had such a good segue. Why was I saying this? I just got so tied up in it. The emotions caught up to me again of how like frustrated I got. Here, say something so I can remember what I was gonna say. Give me give me something.
Yeah, so, I mean, I feel like there are, like, the Hamilton also, the Sports Illustrated for kids. That is also a good card, and we can talk about his first card, which is the Futura from like 2006, which is just like a unicorn at this
Yeah,
point.
you're not gonna find that.
Right.
Yeah,
But I
that's
feel
what,
like the older cards, there are like some value there.
that's This is actually funny. I don't know if you saw my latest video I did on like Best Buy, like or don't buy this instead. I don't know if you saw that, but the 2009 Hamilton was one of the cards I said like this week that why would I buy base Hamilton when I can go buy that card?
Right.
There's just I don't what else did I talked about I actually talked about the Vettel and that too, I think maybe. I talked about some old like Schumacher and Senna stuff. I think it's undervalued.
Yeah.
A lot of legends are undervalued.
Right.
Oh, my video was how to stay ahead of the F1 market. So I talked about some like Senna stuff. There's just like sure I complain that I can't afford cars from now, but there are plenty of plays you can make in F1 that you will do incredibly well on, especially because like I think of it as the soccer market. When soccer boomed, it didn't matter what card you had; it was all going up.
Yeah.
Stuff went up more than other stuff. I know you're way more into soccer than I am, so I said that, and you can touch on the soccer more than me. But like, yeah, if everything goes up, some stuff will go up more than others, and those legend cards will just explode.
Yeah. I mean, I sold a PSA 9. I mean, we're talking August of last year.
Mm-hmm.
PSA 9, 2014 Prism Messi
Yeah,
for like $1,400.
is that the World Cup one?
Yeah, and now
Okay.
it's going for like $70.
Yeah, sold it for 1,400. You said?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's like me this year. I sold a PSA 9 Schumacher from 92 grid for $2,000. I mean, that card's maybe pushing 400 now. So, yeah, just don't get caught holding, I guess. So,
Right, yeah.
do you have
I mean,
actually, there's a few drivers. So sorry. Go ahead first, and I'll get to what I was gonna say.
go ahead.
So what I was gonna say is there are a few drivers that I wanted to just ask you if you're bearish or bullish on, because I want to see how you think compared to me, and if we have disagreements, we could talk about them. I thought this would be fun because I know a lot
Yeah,
of people
yeah.
collect a lot of different guys. Be fun to throw out some names I don't talk about a ton. I want to do it on names that are like you actually gonna have to think a little bit because I could just throw out say, do you think are you bullish or bearish on Kimmy? And that's like the easiest answer in the world.
Yeah, for us.
So this is like the first name I'm gonna throw out is are you bearish or bullish on Lando Norris?
I'm bearish.
Ah, another fellow bear with me who's bearish on Lando
Yeah.
Norris.
I don't know. Faye in the Discord and on Twitter would say he's a little posh boy. I mean,
Yes.
he is. I mean, he's been handed good machinery. I really don't see. I mean, he's a good driver, but the prices don't justify it for me right now, especially all things considered.
Yeah. I can't really argue. I'm the thing, and I'll explain. Maybe I'll explain more on why.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I know Lando connects really well with like the younger like audience like me,
Right.
and
Yeah, like my sister loves him.
yeah, like everybody like loves him. He's like kind of like the cute. I'm trying to think of like the way to say this. The cute, like unassuming, light-hearted, funny guy, and it's like he's great, but like, and the reason why I think I'm bearish on him is because I saw F2, and in F2 he got smoked in F2 by Russell.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Like so,
Right.
it was Norris, it was Russell, and it was Albon. Russell wins championship. Norris gets, I believe, second. I'm gonna look this up on my phone to be sure. Norris
Yeah,
gets second, and Albon is just nipping on his heels, like right there. Like Albon's right behind him. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna look this up. I just looked this up a few days ago. Yeah, so I'll tell you the points. I'll tell you the top 5 points just so you can kind of understand like what was going on. So, in first you have Russell. How many points he scored? This website sucks. I guess I'm not gonna. Okay, he scored 287 points. In second place, you had Lando Norris, who scored 219. So he's a full 60 to 70 points behind. Then you have Albon in third, who scored 212. So he's only 7 points behind Norris. So almost a wash. And then 10 points behind Albon's Nick DeVries. So,
wow.
like, looking at it, like, in that sense, like, you could argue Nick DeVries and Lando Norris are closer than Lando Norris and George Russell. Because theoretically,
Yeah.
I'm going to say this theoretically because it's not always the case, but F2 is a spec series for how it works. Like, theoretically,
Yeah.
it's going to be the best of the best is going to win, no matter what the team. And to win by 70 points over Norris and Albon, it's just, that's why, I think that's what it is, why I'm so bearish on Norris. I think he's perfectly fine, but I think that, like, even like last year, Sainz was matching like Norris in the majority of races.
Right.
It was just this year that when Ricciardo was struggling to adapt to the new car that he looked better, and now like they look even.
Absolutely.
And people watching now, they would hate that take, but I think it's just I'm not gonna look at him playing Twitch or that type of stuff, him being partnered with stuff. That doesn't. Sure, it matters a little bit for card prices, but it's too high.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then, going off of that, are you bearish or bullish on Russell? This is probably a tougher one.
Are we talking Russell prices a month ago or Russell prices now?
I'm just gonna go current right now. Are you bearish or bullish?
Right now, I mean,
This is the hardest one I thought. I think this and one other one are just so hard to decide.
I wish I could just like refine neutral, but I guess, I can.
I guess you could say holds. I guess you could say holds neutral if you want to say that, but I feel like that's a cop out from you.
So I want to explain both perspectives. Okay, we can see. I can see him being the prospect that the hobby likes. With him, taking the Mercedes seat next year, maybe being the future of Mercedes, and we can also see him, be overshadowed by Lewis, like Valtteri. So it's 100%. Very interesting.
Yeah, that's. I think I'm gonna take the bullish side slightly.
No, I agree. Oh, bullish. Okay.
I'm gonna go slightly I think honestly saying holding neutral is the best spot for now.
Right.
But like if you're gonna make me pick one, I'm gonna go slight bullish.
Right, okay.
Because I think that I don't know. I think the ceiling.
His Chrome Auto should be worth like $5 grand.
How much is Leclerc's? He should be the same price as Leclerc.
Leclerc is like half.
Then he should be half of that price. I base all of those drivers. I base the second I kind of put Verstappen and Hamilton way out there. The third tier of prices for me, I don't agree with it, but it should be Norris, it should be Russell, and it should be Leclerc. Those should be the three behind.
Right, I agree.
And those three should all be the same price. And I've said that, and that's my main reasoning why Leclerc's undervalued. He's not at their price yet. The second he closes in on the Russell and Norris prices, that's the perfect price for him. You don't have to buy. But until then, too cheap.
I like that.
So, this one, I actually have not thought about this, so I'm going to ask you, and I think we'll both have to think about it. For a lot of people, this is a fan favorite. Pierre Gasly.
Pierre Gasly. Man, I would have said bullish until his prices just went up a lot recently.
Have they gone up a lot? That's actually interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, so I want to discuss this, but I guess I'll say, I gotta go bearish. I was bullish, I really was, but these prices, okay. So I got a dynasty of his in like April, because I'm a fan of his.
Yeah.
It was a PSA 6. I don't know why the card looks fine. That's why I bought it. I got it for like $520.
Oh yeah.
And his dynasties are doing like $1,500 now.
Okay.
And I think that's too much for a guy who's gonna be stuck in a midfield car with no future. Yeah, that's very good. I love him.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's. I think that's fair to say. I think this is the one that I really want to say just hold steady on.
Right.
Because he's one of the guys that'll outdrive that car. He really will. But
right. I mean, today he was like only a 10th off of Perez.
Yeah, exactly. So if I actually didn't know his prices went up because I was gonna say based on his prices where he was, I would say I honestly was gonna say neutral because if you buy him, I don't think you have very good upside, but you also have the downside that Red Bull wants to eventually replace him with somebody that could go up to the next team, up to Red Bull again, like a Sonoda thing. So it's interesting. And okay, I have last one. This one, I just have to touch on this because it kind of drives me nuts. He's not even in F1. He's an F2 driver.
Okay,
but
I like that.
I guess this is a call. I'm calling people out. People buying Guan Yu Zhou stuff right now are insane. Insane.
Bro, bearish. Absolutely.
I might be the biggest bear of all time on Guan Yu Zhou.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Bro. First of all, I don't even think Here, you go first.
Bro, take your money to the roulette table.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. if you're really gambling that much on a guy who's not even guaranteed a seat right now, I mean, it's just
I'm gonna
there's
say
no explanation.
I'm gonna say this. If you're lighting your money on fire, and I'll tell you why. Even if he gets the seat, you're burning your money. It's
Because Bora's gonna drive him into the ground. It's gonna be like Tsunoda and Gasly up until recently.
that's what I. So that's my exact point. Bottas is gonna run circles around the guy who hasn't driven an F1 car yet, and even still, I think. I guess we can talk about the next season a little bit. I think Alfa Romeo will be the worst car on the grid next year. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, it really could be. I mean, Haas have put everything in next year.
And that's why I can't say I think that's why Mick's kind of intriguing if Haas becomes a midfield next year. But like
Yeah, I'm bullish on it.
I am too. And that's why it's insane to me that people would buy Joe to get put in
Right.
very good chance the worst car on the grid. Bottas is gonna run damn circles around him. I don't care, like, and this is the one thing I will say. I preach the the world wideness of the market of F1. The one market I do not care about is the Asian market with cards. I don't care what the Asian collectors, how much they love Guan Yu Zhou. Me shipping over there is going to cost me $80 anyways. So, like, I guess this is kind of unfair, but Australia's out of my mind too. I don't want to, if I'm selling stuff, I don't ship to them, so that I never even think about them. For better or for worse.
Yeah, I bought a card from Australia and it just took a month to come.
It's exactly, it takes like a month. Shipping is insane. It's just oh. So, I don't, people saying, oh, these people have huge followings. Okay, I will agree with that. But yeah, at least Europe has Europe and South America has some experience with cards. Besides Japan and maybe Korea, because they're both kind of baseball Asian countries.
Yeah.
What spot is gonna buy Guan Yu Zhou? Maybe I guess Taiwan. I'm trying to think of just Asian countries that might buy the whatever the main China. I can't think of what. For some reason, I'm a political science major and I can't think of what their actual name is. But China currently, how many people are not many people are going to buy from there? So it's just, oh, see, look, I just keep getting off topic on stuff. Why don't you talk about why you like Mick so much?
I like Mick because he's in the Ferrari Driver Academy. Binotto always says good things about him, so I expect him to be there with Leclerc pretty soon.
Yep.
And with Ferrari, I like what they're doing. They seem to be really focused on next year as well. So these new regulations, I feel like Mick and Leclerc will be a really good duo at Ferrari. And he's done everything he could up to this point, like performing well and whatnot in the lower divisions of formulas.
Yeah, and
he carries that Schumacher name. So.
Yeah, I can't add anything to that. I'm gonna say this. This statement right here I'm about to make will be the most controversial one I've made tonight, and might burn the Discord to the ground if they pull a soundbite and put it in the chat. I am 100% bullish on Nikita Mazepin. 100%.
Me too. Let's go.
I am so bullish on him, and I'll tell you exactly why.
This is
For better or for worse, the dude always has the name in everybody's mouth.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about him. If Haas becomes a midfield card, it's the same situation as Latifi. He's so low right now, he can only go up.
That's what I've been telling people. I'm like, I can't wait for this dynasty to drop. I'm like, I can't wait to scoop his dynasty, honestly.
And this is funny. The funny thing is, I bought from Justin or Chargers 21, and all of his Mazepin stuff is still sitting there.
Right. Yeah, I was considering messaging him about it.
And if it sits there for like if I see it if in a week or two, I mean I usually shoot him a message every couple of weeks, just kind of checking in, chatting with him. In a few
Yeah.
weeks, if I send him a message and be like, "Hey, you still have that Mazepin stuff?" and he says yes, and I can get it for under comps on like the gold to 50, yes, please, I'll take it. That's why. That's like that. The Mazepin 101 that sold for what $500 months ago.
Yeah.
Intriguing.
The
It's
Papadastra.
yeah, very intriguing buy.
I was interested in it. It's just that it was a little too much. I want like the rookie card logo. Like this upcoming product, I'll buy his stuff for cheap.
Yeah, I think because Mick's gonna carry the Schumacher name. Mazepin, like, here's the thing, like Sonoda, like, is so whatever to me. Like I feel like it'll be the most whatever thing. And like his prices are accurately reflected of how he is. That doesn't intrigue me. But with how low Mazepin is, and if Haas becomes that midfield driver, the dude and people can't stop talking about the guy.
Right. Like even they showed him today in qualifying a bunch because of the drama.
Yeah, like the dude's always involved in stuff. You're telling me that a guy who's always on TV and everybody knows his name for better or for worse won't sell? You're kidding yourself.
Right.
I don't care about like that's taking my personal opinions of the guy out of it itself.
Right, I agree.
Cause like, and it's different. Cause like yeah, it's funny. Cause like people have scandals and stuff, but it depends what the scandal is and how bad it is. For me, like I had Watson stuff. I sold all my Deshaun Watson stuff. I didn't want to touch his situation with a 10-foot pole going into this year.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, look, the dude still hasn't played yet. Mazepin
Yeah,
basically, for better or for worse, sexually assaults a woman, and he gets to see he's racing.
Yep.
So like, and like that's out of people's minds already. Like that's way past a lot of people's minds now, and they just he spins, he sucks. So like, I don't know. I think he's intriguing to buy. So many of those low caliber drivers, like it's funny. Like Grosjean, I think Grosjean like is perfectly the price he should have. He's in a like his whole crash is in a whole such a unique spot.
Yeah.
That his prices will accurately reflect. I have two more drivers that I don't want Bearish or Bullish, but I just wanted to bounce this off of you because I always think this. In the Discord, excuse me. So in the Discord, people post the huge pictures. I'm selling all these cards, and the same three people, or there's two people that always sit for obvious reasons. And I want to hear if you had to pick between these two, who you're taking to buy.
One of them's already Giovinazzi.
No, it's not.
Oh, what? Okay.
Would you rather buy Magnussen or Kvyat? If you had to put your like life on the line, you have to pick one. Who are you gonna buy?
Okay, so let's go and let's discuss a little bit. We know that Magnussen right now is WEC driver.
Is he doing? Yeah, he was doing WC. Is that IMSA or is that a different thing? He's doing sports cars. I know that.
Yeah, I think it's.
I don't know if it's the same. I don't know if it's the same thing,
sure.
but he's doing sports cars.
Like I said, right? Yeah, I knew it was like WEC stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Continue.
Kvyat is a reserve driver.
Yes.
So I will give Kvyat credit for still being in the F1 scene.
Yeah. So you're gonna buy Kvyat.
Yes, I would. Yeah.
Oh.
Even as a former Haas fan, you know. I mean, as a Haas fan still. But
yeah, that's
being a former driver.
Yeah, I mean, if you buy any of them, you're lighting your money on fire. Let's just get that clear. Because I cannot see a situation where either of them come back to F1.
Right.
So, but yeah, I had to ask you because I always see them. They're the last two. You might as well throw Giovinazzi in that in a second because I think he's going to be gone from F1 too.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, because he's about to be gone.
But like, yeah, Gio is not a good buy either. But dude, I have a whole story with Giovinazzi. The dude's 70th black was impossible to find. It took me 4 months.
70th?
Like the Sapphire Black series.
Oh, number to 70.
Yeah. Because in Sapphire, it's only 70th, I guess. Because of the logo.
Right.
Dude, it took me months to find this card. And it just so happened, like on eBay, there was like, or like the one on eBay was listed for like 4 times how much it should be worth. So I was just depressed, checking every 2 weeks. Then randomly, all of a sudden on Discord, oh, I have these cards, I'm looking to sell. It's just lumped in with all these random cards.
Holy.
And it's like the holy grail for me finding this random Giovinazzi.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I need this card. What do you want? And I got it for like $40 or something back then. I was like, done.
Yeah, for sure.
But that black set, I'm gonna talk.
Lewis is calling.
Oh, hey, I bought Lewis, PSA 7 Lewis.
Lewis.
For the people, for the people watching, there's a few of us that we have this joke, looking to buy Lewis, and I one-upped it by, I went on eBay, found the worst possible Kyle Lewis slab I could, bought for $1 a PSA 7 Kyle Lewis Topps card. So I think that's going to be the card that just gets randomly shipped to people in the Discord. Whenever you make a deal, you have to include it. Hey, I threw you in an extra Lewis just cause. But yeah, that okay, I have to talk to you about this too. While we're just rolling right now, so I'm gonna keep asking you questions. I remember on Discord, there was a guy. I'm bad with the names. The guy, I don't know why, he was coming at the people who were collecting the full sets. He was just.
Oh my god, yeah.
There was this guy. He was just not having it one day.
I think it was Man of Troy.
Was that? I don't remember the names.
I'll drop his name. I don't care.
No, I don't remember what his name was. So. Yeah, how do you feel about people collecting the sets compared to individual cards?
Me?
Yeah, you personally.
Oh, I think it's badass. I wish I could do it. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just like, seeing the auto sets, like the base auto sets, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I respect you for trying to do the 70th. Yeah, it's just hard.
I think
we know how expensive Lewis and Max are, so, I mean...
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say Lewis, Max, Lando, George, and...
Leclerc.
Leclerc, yeah.
Yeah, I think,
I mean, that 5 will run your paycheck.
Yeah. I think for me, it helps that I got in a lot of them for so cheap early that I was able to do them. And then I'm going to be stuck with Lewis last. And it's funny because I hate saving the most expensive one for last.
Right, yeah.
But he just so happened to go up right at the end, right when I needed him. Because, like, for most of the time, he's only, what, like, $1,500, $2,000 for it?
Oh, and, my God, yeah.
So, like, that, like, at the time, that was, like, I thought that was a fair price for him because it hadn't gone up yet. So I was like, I'll get there eventually.
Right, yeah, I agree.
And then he just wants to go up to ridiculous prices. But, like, yeah, my big thing, I mean, we can start wrapping it up soon. I know it's late for you.
Yeah,
but, like,
sure. Love talking, though.
Yeah, I know I say that and we'll talk for 20 more minutes, but I always try to say that with the cards like that, like, for the people who, like, don't like the sets, they like cards for different reasons than the people who make the sets. If that makes sense. Like, for me, making the set, first of all, I think it's a great way to just to diversify your overall F1. Like, it's great to diversify across, like, a product like 2020, Topps Chrome, because you hit everything. Because if F1 goes up as a whole, your whole set goes up as a whole. It's just easy to work with. And the second thing is that I enjoy the journey of collecting it so much more than me actually getting it with the chase.
Yeah, I respect that.
For me, the chase is so much more fun than just getting the card. Because like that's why I say like if I had like $1,000,000 to spend, cards wouldn't be nearly as fun to me. Because I can just go buy whatever I want, and there's no chase involved in that.
Right. There's no exactly.
There's no like it's not satisfying for me if I were able to buy everything right off the bat. I wouldn't have to work for it. I don't know how you feel about that, but that's just how I am.
I agree. It wouldn't feel as special. I mean, if I had $1,000,000, I could just buy whatever I wanted, and I guess it wouldn't bring me as much joy, probably.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how it is. Like, yeah, and it's also like going off of this. Like, I think like making the mistakes of like selling stuff or buying stuff is like also part of it because it just gives you those fun stories to tell. Like, thankfully, I haven't had too many. I don't think I've actually had like a really bad buy, to be honest, which I'm thankful for. But like, those stories are some of my favorites from people to say the bad stuff they bought.
I'm trying to think.
Excuse me. It's funny because I feel like people always have a story, but like I think about it and like, don't get me wrong, I've lost money on cards, but I haven't had like a colossal loss. I've sold stuff for loss plenty of times, but I haven't gotten absolutely burned on something.
One thing I take a loss on usually is opening wax.
That is a loss.
That's the way it be sometimes.
It's funny looking back at the one box I opened. Who I'm gonna tell you who I want to see who you think got the better deal between me and Chatty.
Okay.
So my first box, I traded him at the time, not a big card whatsoever. Now it's probably pretty damn big. A gold out of 50 track tags Verstappen.
Oh my god! I sold a number to 25 for like $500.
So
I thought that was bang at the time.
Yeah. So I sold him the gold at the time. I didn't realize how hard those golds were actually to pull.
Yeah, same.
So I trade that to him because he's doing the gold. I'm happy he has it. Or maybe he moved mine because I know he had 2 at some point. Mine kind of had some tough edges, so no hard feelings if he moved it. But
yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry, dude. I wish I had brought water in here. But sorry. Okay, I'm gonna continue. So in return, I got a Leclerc refractor portrait, a Russell refractor portrait, and a Lewis Hamilton chrome base. Who won, or is it perfectly even, do you think?
I think that was a fair trade at the time.
What do you think about now? You think he has it now with the Verstappen?
Yeah, it's good. You didn't trade him like anything too. It was just like, I mean, he gave you like what? Can you repeat what he gave you?
Yeah, Leclerc refractor, Russell refractor, and a Hamilton chrome base.
Yeah, it's not color. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. At the time, I was ecstatic with that.
And I kind of wanted to touch on this while it came to my mind. The fact of how hard it is to hit good autographs. Because I got a bunch of cases of Chrome for pretty cheap. So I was just opening it for people on Twitter and even a couple of people in Discord like Chatty.
Yeah.
And I personally opened for people, I think 4 cases.
Okay.
Okay, so I hit an Albin auto, a Sainz auto, like there's some good stuff, but I'm just gonna say I didn't hit a Hamilton auto, a Verstappen auto, a Russell auto,
Norris,
or a Lando auto. The only good auto I hit out of 4 cases was a Leclerc.
Okay.
And we also hit like a Latifi. You know what I mean?
Some lower end stuff, yeah.
Right. I think
yeah, go for it.
Verstappen Chrome autos deserve 10,000.
Yeah.
They earn that. That's 5 boxes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lewis, I think, is a little crazy at 30,000.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think that's a little crazy, but I can see it to some extent.
I think it.
But,
I think
max at 5 boxes is I think fair or even a little cheap.
I think that's cheap. I think honestly, the box prices are just. It's so weird with how like the top end is so high up there in comparison to box prices.
Yeah.
Like you hit like an Auto Hamilton, 30,000 or 15 boxes. When you put it like that,
right,
it doesn't seem like that much. But like how hard that is to pull,
exactly. Yeah,
and
so
how many
true.
people aren't gonna sell? Like how many people like? I feel like I've seen like. If you told me like name all the people who have them, I think I can name. I could probably point you in the direction of 5 to 6 of them, but none of them are gonna sell them. So
I think like that guy in the Discord opened one box like the other night and found it. Oh my god.
that guy, I just want to say how much I hate that guy. First of all, the fact that he's just an Astros and a Cowboys fan disgusted me. That
Oh man.
and so he didn't deserve to pull it because he's a fan of both of those teams. First of all,
That's funny.
second of all, he was just drunk ripping. He literally said he was intoxicated and just drunk ripping and pulled a Hamilton auto. Like he made arguably he made a terrible decision to open one box because he was just drunk and he thought it'd be fun to rip. Bam, he pulls a Hamilton auto. And then the worst part about it is he just drops a picture with no caption. Just lackadaisically just drops it in there, and people are like so they're like question marks like what is this? Like 5 minutes later, he's like, oh, I was just celebrating the Cowboys won. Was a little tipsy. Ended up pulling this auto out of one box. I'm like, dude.
Oh my god.
You're killing me.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
But yeah, going off of what I said earlier, where I said Ricardo the best buy, I think now over Leclerc. I think I'm going to transition by saying the Ricardo best buy. His autos are pretty manageable or reasonable compared to the big ones. So I might have to. I was looking at some bigger Ricardo cards just on eBay, just trying to gauge prices, and there's some interesting stuff up there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's funny because I already have a Ricardo 70th black, so do I really need to go get another one? Another bigger card?
Just need to go for the auto.
Yeah, currently I have 2 autos that I just bought.
Oh, really? Nice.
I'm a man of my word. I have a Latifi auto.
Okay.
And I have a Grosjean auto.
Okay, that's nice. I have a Grosjean auto. I'm a big fan of his.
Yeah, both that I bought from Justin. I got him for.
Okay.
Oh, I paid way more. I don't want to tell you how much I paid for Latifi, considering I bought one at the National for like $20. I tried to sell it on eBay like a month later. I sold for $20. I just bought another one back for I'll say at least 4 times that. But
yeah.
Then the Grosjean.
The recent steal that I got was the signed team card. I mean, Max, I haven't seen too much of his signed stuff.
Oh, okay.
This guy, the guy I bought it off of, I think he works at the Red Bull factory.
Uh-huh.
So I got a signed Albon and Verstappen team card.
Okay.
I have a nice little display for it right
here.
I think I saw. And I got it for.
I
got it for $100.
That's awesome. I've been recently looking. I want to get just a nice I want to get some every once in a while I'd look for some sports memorabilia, some nice a nice poster signed by somebody cool, stuff like that.
Right.
Like my dream.
Yeah, I'm a UFC guy as well.
Oh, okay.
So I was saying I was a signed poster here of the fight night with Reyes and Prohaska. I'm a big Prohaska fan.
Oh, okay.
So this signed poster, which is pretty cool.
That's sick. Yeah, I was one of my things I want to get is I want I'm also big on big murals or canvas. So I want to find a 34-inch by 20-inch Lewis Hamilton autographed big, nice poster or something. But man, are those hard to get prints that big that are actually signed by somebody.
Yeah.
And this is I don't know. Do you watch Card Collector 2 at all?
I have not watched any of his videos, but I talked to him.
Okay, so this is completely random then, but hopefully one person watching would know what I'm talking about. In his shop, I don't know if he still has it. He has this Tiger Woods like framed picture, and it's the coolest sports picture I've ever seen. It's a picture of Tiger Woods hitting out of, it's like, I don't know what course it's at, but the hitting out of the bunker. The bunker's like clear white and Tiger signed in the sand bunker with like a nice black pen. So the auto's super super nice. On the background, this wide lens shot, like with all the fans in the background of Tiger hitting out of the bunker. It is like the coolest, like it's like the coolest picture I've ever seen for like an auto, and I'm so jealous, but I know it's so expensive. But I just want cool stuff like that, or cheap autos.
Right.
Like I want to get a Hamilton auto at some point of just something. I don't really care what it is. It doesn't need to be a card.
Right.
It can just be like, like a signed picture. I want to get something like that. So I casually look, and like it's funny how his card auto goes for so much when you can find just like you could probably make your own custom cut auto for like $250.
Right.
All right. Do you have anything you want to? You have any last words you want to say before we head out or anything like that?
Just wanted to say this was awesome, man. It was great just to talk Formula One cards, and I love how we just ended up in places that I didn't expect, and it's really fun.
Yeah, that's how they always go. I've learned to just go with the flow, and whatever pops up, pops up. Whatever's on whatever's on our minds will usually pop up. So I don't usually think about it, and
Absolutely.
I think I'll give a So I've talked to a few people about. I haven't talked to you about this because I haven't been on with you yet. So I get your live reaction to this idea. I want to do a Christmas special edition of this talk. But what I want to do is anybody who's been in the past, anybody I've brought on, is eligible to join a big group call.
Oh, that would be so fun.
I don't know how many people can join. Is how many people end up talking to each other.
Right.
So whether
That'd be great.
So whether it's only three of us, whether it's like me, Kulik, because I know that dude's free all the damn time. He has no life. He's of course gonna join.
I'm great friends with Kulik too, man.
Yeah, I love talking to him. The dude always is not doing anything, so I know he will do it. Whether I get like 3 people or somehow like we get a special guest appearance from Cannon Cardboard MQH when he's drunk, like Conan, like 2 in the morning after he puts his kids to bed. Like I don't know. I think it'd be quite funny just to have everybody talk shit to each other, just interact, have fun, talk about cards, what they've been buying, stuff like that.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That's a great idea.
Yeah, and since you have been on, you will be invited. Yeah, you will be part of that if you so choose,
good.
unless you want to be scared and not join. Because
oh no, I'm totally down. This will be amazing.
Because if you think about all the people I've talked about, there's only one person I've talked to that I think. There's 1 or 2 people that I talked to that I think would not do it, mostly because they're busy. And I think I'll do this quickly. I'll run down all the people I've talked to, and if I think they'll do it.
All right, bet.
The first one, Ethan. I already said the dude has no life. Of course, he's gonna join. Actually, I actually need to look. I've actually talked to more people than I thought. I want to go in the order that I did it.
Okay.
Or the order that I talked to him. Who's next? Chatty. The dude's gonna join. The dude cannot stop talking to everybody in the Discord. He talks to everybody 24/7. Justin, that's a tough one. Justin's a 50-50 shot if we're gonna be honest here.
Yeah.
Because like he's definitely like more the serious type. Which is nothing wrong, but I don't know if that's gonna be his vibe of what it's gonna be like.
Right.
We got Buffy, Buff Breaks. The dude's so busy. I'm not expecting him. The dude is so busy with stuff.
Right, yeah. I'm happy I got to talk to him at the National.
I am too. He was so awesome to talk to at the National. I'm really happy that he's busy. It sucks that I'm not able to talk to him nearly as often, but I'm definitely happy for him.
Just opening. Do you see that? He was opening $450,000 Pokemon box today.
I didn't get to watch live, but I saw on the Discord. I want to send him a.
Yeah.
I would reach out to him, but he's so busy that he can't even reach out to people anymore because of it's his full-time job. But next time he's live on Loop, I'll maybe stop by. MQH Cannon Cardboard. He will join if his wife lets him. Or it is like, no, being serious, it's just if he finds time. He's really busy. If he finds time and he has a few drinks in him, I think he will be the most entertaining one by far. No offense to you, Luke, but I think he will be the must watch TV if he has a few drinks in him with that talk. Jupe, Jupe has to join. If Jupe doesn't join, it's a failure to me.
I agree.
He has to join. We got Darren or Dez UK. The dude stays up till 6 a.m. UK time for some reason, so he literally, like, no matter what, he's gonna join. The dude loves talking to me.
He's built different.
He is, dude. When I was reaching out to him, it took me like 3 weeks to set it up with him, just because like, we're both in school, so like we just kind of had conflicting schedules. So it was like, hey, like there will be times where like, because I've interacted with plenty of people from the UK like in the past, so like I know to expect that around like 2 to 3 o'clock my time, I'm not gonna like be getting text from them or responses. He was responding back to me at like 11 o'clock Pacific time, which is like 7 a.m. there, and he's like, yeah, I haven't gone to bed yet. I'm like, dude, are you serious? Like, the guy just lives on U.S. time. But he better join. I think he will join. There's no shot. He's gonna join no matter what. Then we'll get you on.
Yeah.
I think since I said that, you're gonna try to make it happen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If only for the fact that you know for sure Kulik will be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the thing is that like, I think honestly I'm gonna have him bring him back on. Because like, the reason is like I didn't know what I was doing for the first talk. So like, it wasn't quite what I wanted it. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm proud of all of them, and I like all of them, but it wasn't what I was kind of expecting.
Yeah, I got you.
From it. Yeah, I have so yeah, I'm gonna bring him on. There is one guest that I am gonna try to ask on. I cannot say who that is because I haven't even asked them to come on yet. But it's funny. I have actually, every single time I go to record, I go, okay, I feel like I've talked to everybody I know. Who am I going to possibly talk to? And then somehow every single time somebody else just pops up and I'm like, oh, that's a great one to talk to.
Yeah.
So I think before I get to Ethan, I had to talk to Faye. He said he's going to talk to me. He said he's going to talk to me at some point. I want to get another person from across the pond on. I think he'll be a funny one.
Yeah, Faye's awesome.
And it's funny, I don't talk to him as much as other people do. But even like interacting with him, the dude's hilarious.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I think now I'm gonna go down the list of people I want to have on. So if they are listening, this is like shout outs, I guess. You get to be here to witness. So if people get sad, I probably forgot you. The people I have in mind to bring on. I want to bring on. Okay. I want to bring on Bangers. Bangers and Wax. I think he'd be fun. He's a newbie to the Discord, though. Do you approve or disapprove?
I like Bangers and Wax.
Okay, I want to also bring on Chase. That one might be a disaster.
Oh my god, yeah, I'll have to listen to that one.
That one will be a disaster. Um, when I say this, this might shock you. I've never interacted with Mexi, but I want to get Mexi on.
Oh wow, that'd be great. Yeah.
I'm forgetting names. I want to get a vintage guy on at some point, depending who that is.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I'm thinking Vettel one. That's my first option. But
that's a great
option. There's one option here that if I want to burn the fucking I'm what, like an hour and a half, and that was my first swear. Pretty good.
Yeah.
There's one person that if I brought on, and if I say the name, everybody watching would know it could not end well whatsoever. The guy is so notorious; he's not even on the main Discord anymore. That might have gave it away.
Wow.
Bringing Boozy on, Boozy Panda.
Oh my god.
I think
I forgot about him for a sec.
Yeah, if I the ultimate troll artist is Boozy. If I brought him on, I think it would be the first ever R-rated talk or triple X-rated talk, because the guy just every single time I interact with him, it's something about how hot Claire Williams is. But yeah, so yeah, long story short, hopefully to get some more people on, and in that right there, I didn't mention the number. I have no offense to the other people, but there's one person that I'm really eyeing up. Chatty knows who it is because I bounced this idea off of him and he said to do it. So we're gonna try to get somebody not from the Discord. We'll leave it at that. You can let your mind run wild. But you know what? I said I was gonna wrap it up 15 minutes ago, and we're still talking. So thanks for coming on. Great talking to you. Hopefully I didn't keep you up too late. I mean, you don't have a life. You don't have a life like me, anyway. So. Nah, I say that when I can barely find time to do YouTube. But yeah, thanks for coming on. It was fun talking with you. Thank you for just being able to make somebody's hour and a half of talking about nonsense.
Yeah. Anybody listening, follow me on Twitter at penguinsfan32. That's where I'm most active. I'm active in the Discord too.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna keep it real with you. An hour and a half in, hopefully you get one new follower from that. But yeah, thanks you guys for watching. Have a good one. Hopefully we have some new videos coming out this week. Stay tuned. Have a good one.
See you, man.